What's up guys, and welcome back to another episode of Career Mode. This is episode number 211. And we start today's episode off with some player training for also seeing another bid coming in for Amir Prevlejic. Is that how you pronounce that? Probably not. But our Bosnian central midfielder, 61 rated, 19 years old, doesn't show any potential, so I'm fine letting him go. And also we start today's episode off as well by changing the squad numbers of our players as well. As promised, Harris has now got number 10. Tyler Allen is going to wear number 11, which is vacant. Fagan is going to wear the number 16. Wilson, I believe, gets 20. Is it 22? No, it's 18 for Wilson. And Brady also gets number 24. And I think I did two more as well. Yep, one for Sam King. He gets 22. And the other is Brendan Quinn, a Northern Irish cam. He's going to get the number 27 as well. You might notice as well, as I was changing those squad numbers, that Bosnian central midfielder you saw earlier there, he kept on like defaulting to the next available number, and then I kept taking it off him to give to someone else. Oh, the poor lad, he's definitely on his way out. But still, squad number changes in today's episode, as you saw there, and as promised, we now got some more first team numbers, which I think are more appropriate for the players in this side. And Harris now wearing a number 10 as well. I must say, I think he's going to be a real handful this season for opposition defenders and goalkeepers. I am targeting him to be going for the golden boot this season. Still, for our first game of today's episode, we will travel away from home to Goodison Park to take on Carlo Ancelotti's Everton. And just 7 minutes into the game, we won ourselves a penalty. Ollie Shaw striding down that left-hand side, as he loves to do, entering the area after a lovely galloping run there down the flank, taken down and a certain spot kick as well. David Turnbull, who scored against Wolves on match day 2, I think it was, that was standing up to take it, but I gave it to Ivan Toney, who scratched for the first time in the last episode with his goal against Brighton. And 7 minutes in, dispatches the penalty, sends the goalkeeper the wrong way and gives us the lead as well. And of course, as we know, Ivan Toney lost his golden boot streak last season, mainly due to the fact he only played half a season here at Bramall Lane after he signed him from Bayer Leverkusen in the January transfer window. I mentioned earlier, Harris will be going for the golden boot this season, but now that Tony's going to have a full season here at Bramall Lane, I'd love it if in his first full season back at Sheffield United, he could win the golden boot. Either way, makes it 1-0 there, second goal of the season, and gives us the opening goal. And after that, Barry Walsh denied by a great save. We were still leading by 1 in the first half an hour. It was all Sheffield United. 22 minutes in, he scored our first and he scores our second as well. The Shocker sent forward one-on-one and bags his third goal of the season to make it 2-0. But the guy that got the assist, Pierre Rocher, he's had an amazing start to the campaign. I think it's already 2 or possibly even 3 goals in the Premier League already for our French midfielder. And I've talked about it before. Physically, this guy's really slow, very weak, very low stamina, not much to his game physically speaking, but technically, his vision and his passing ability is absolutely fantastic. Lovely assist there, and the Blades go 2 goals up. Having said that, the 2-goal lead would not last for a very long time. Despite the fantastic start, Everton would half deficit and get right back in the game soon after Toney bagged his second goal of the game. And I've talked about it before, man, against the AI on Ultimate Difficulty, the goals you'll tend to concede more than any other are from set pieces and crosses. We give away a free kick about 25 yards from goal, and it's a wonderful bent effort into the near corner as Everton get back in the game. Sam Hill at full stretch gets nowhere near it as the Toffees half the deficit and make it 2-1. What a goal. And as I mentioned earlier there, you know, conceding goals from set pieces against the AI on Ultimate Difficulty, they happen so goddamn often as the Toffees get back in the game. But 47 minutes in, Toney almost got his hat-trick there. A great save of the goalkeeper as once again Shaw went on a great run down left-hand side by his shot. Had his cross, picked out by Toney, but the shot well saved with the goalkeeper as it was still 2-1. And in the 71st minute, looking for that 2-goal cushion to be restored, but Bell's almost scored a fabulous goal there. His chip going onto the crossbar and behind for a goal kick. But even though we had conceded a goal, we were still the far better team. And it seemed at some point that surely we would find that third goal and wrap the points up. And in the 83rd minute, we would get it through. That man, Ivan Toney, the Shocker, it's his first hat-trick since returning to Bramall Lane. He spots some of the away fans in the home end, goes to celebrate with them there as he makes it 3-1 and claims the match ball along with the champagne as well. goal. Lovely ball across by Bogle. Tony's first shot well saved with the goalkeeper. To be fair to him, despite conceding 3 goals in the game, was having an absolute stormer. Another fabulous save, but Gorbels keeps the chance alive, nods it down to Tony, and he scuffed the shot a little bit into the turf. He gets a lucky bounce as it drops over the goalkeeper and in to the back of the net. So Everton 1, Sheffield United 3. Tony was 4th goal in the Premier League, 4 in 2 games for the Shocker, as he thumbs up to the away end there, as he ensures we do get the 3 points with all 3 goals. And again, so pleased to see him get his first match ball, his first hat-trick since returning as well. Ivan Toney, he's going to say to Elliot Harris, "You're my protege, son, and I'm not finished just yet." Final score 3-1. And for Ollie Shaw as well, can I just say this? He's had a couple of assists to start the season off, but in that game, he could have had a hat-trick of assists had my finishing been better. Firstly, penalty, which of course in Fantasy Premier League, when a player gets fouled for a penalty and a player scores it, they get credit with the assist. In FIFA Career Mode, sadly not. I'd love to see that in future versions, when a player gets fouled for the free kick or the penalty, and a goal gets scored directly because of that. I'd love to see the player get the assist. So we didn't get it for that. Then he could have had one for Walsh a few minutes later. Walsh's shot was well saved. Then before the break, his chip ball into Tony, who was denied from close range. Ollie Shaw should have had 3 assists in that game. Instead, the poor young man ended up with 0. But regardless, 3-1 the final score. Most important thing was the victory. And again, seeing Tony notch up 3 goals and his first hat-trick since returning to Bramwell Lane. He's not finished yet. The Shocker has still got life in those old bones yet. But still, second game of 3 in today's episode. It's time for our Champions League group opener away in Denmark against FC Midtjylland here. And of course, you saw the groups drawn in the last episode. We've been drawn in a very tough group in Group D. We've got Inter Milan, we've got Paris Saint-Germain, and poor old FC Midtjylland. They are probably going to be the side to finish rock bottom of the group with 0 points and just a wooden spoon. So taking them on match day 1. Fortunate to be facing them right out of the blocks to try and get the win on the opening game of 6 and get a big statement victory here away in Scandinavia as well. And inside the first few minutes, Elliot Harris, this guy's finishing ability, man, it reminds me of Ivan Toney. It really does. He's so goddamn clinical. Lovely roulette there, gets the ball out of his feet and then bends it into the top corner from 20 yards. That was glorious there, and a goal that Uncle Neil would have been proud of, as Chopper Harris gives us the lead as we go a goal up. And in the first half, we were totally in control of things, really, just controlling the possession battle, knocking the ball around really nicely. I wasn't looking to force my attacks. I was just working the ball into the box for the most part and looking for clear-cut chances. We had one here right before the break. Kapic storming down the left. Lovely run by the Bosnian. I've said it so many times and I'll say it again. This is the guy to watch this season. Very impressive young man. Rolls it across and it's an easy finish for Harris as he makes it 2-0. And 9 minutes after the restart, a chance to make it 3, and we will get the goal through the man who came off the bench at half-time, Abrechi Eze. He makes it 3-0. Fans' favourite Abrechi, as the English boys get the job done for the English side away in Denmark with 3 goals there, 2 for Chopper and 1 for Abrechi in a comfortable 3-0 win. You see the stats here. Midtjylland did have 4 shots and 2 on target, not really noteworthy ones though. Easy saves in the end for Dean, but the possession battle there, 65% possession for the most part in that game. I was just knocking the ball around, keeping it on the ground, not looking to force attacks forward and surrender possession, but instead look for better chances, and we got 2 easy ones which Harris and Eze converted, and of course the first goal was a sensational strike by Elliot. So up and running in the Champions League group, a win on match day 1 as we'd fully expected against the weakest team of the group there. And you would have seen as well Paris Saint-Germain won at the San Siro in match day 1 as well by 2-0. So Inter off to the worst start of the 3 teams, but we're facing them next in the group, and that's going to be a very tough game there at Bramwell Lane. Still for our third and final game of today's episode, returning home and returning back to matters in the Premier League as we welcome Crystal Palace to Bramwell Lane, who to start the league off are rock bottom and so far without a win. So as we know, these can be the games which are the toughest, but I felt confident heading into the game on the back of, I think it's 3 straight wins now in all competitions, and 7 minutes in, what a start it was to the game. Jayden Bogle attacks down the right, steps in field, rolls it across, and who's there to control and bend it into the top corner? Oh yeah, Barry Walsh, baby. Walsh with the goal, his first of the season since returning, and what a lovely goal it was. Of course, you guys voted for him to keep the number 8 as opposed to revert back to the 39 he wore in his first couple of seasons at Sheffield United, and that was a glorious strike there. And of course, you saw a couple of seasons ago with Bayer Leverkusen, he was the main man until he got injured around November, December time, and I don't want Barry Walsh to come back to this team here and show a decline in form. You know, he showed when out at the Bayer Arena in Germany, he can be the best player in the team at any given moment if he really asserts himself and is really aggressive, demands the ball, takes strikes and doesn't just knock the ball on for simple passes. That's what I want Barry to be in this team as well. Continue to stay in attack mode and look for goals as well as assists. So 1-0 there, and 1-0 will soon become 2-0 as well, with Ivan Toney getting his 5th goal in 3 games. And once again, I had to say, poor old Ollie Shaw, man. He doesn't get the rub of the green, rolls it across to Barry, who miskicks the ball. It drops to Ivan Toney, who converts the easy chance and makes it 2-0. So no assist for Walsh or for Shaw there, as Toney makes it 2-0. But just like against Everton, our 2-goal lead did not last long. A few minutes after Toney doubled our advantage, Crystal Palace will get back in the game after deficit. And once again, I've said it, those crosses, last year we lost 5-0 away at Selhurst Park, where every single goal was scored from a cross. And once again, that's how they find their goal. Cross into middle, headed home by Daly, I think it was, as Roy Hodgson's side get back in the game and make it 2-1. And in the second half here, we were holding on to the 3 points. 2 golden chances for Crystal Palace. First, a great little piece of movement there as they went 1-on-1, but Sam Hill bailed me out with a fantastic save. Reactionary stop there by number 1 as he turned the shot behind for a corner. And then from that subsequent corner, headed behind by Daly for a goal kick. So final score 2-1, and again, these can be the games which are the most difficult, and this one certainly was. We had to grind out the victory in order to get it by 2-1. Not a comfortable victory, but the win is the most important thing. We extend our little streak in the Premier League. We are now up to 3rd place, but already 5 points behind 100% Manchester City. If we are to win the title this season, with 2 slip-ups to our name already, we can't afford too many more between now and January. But that was today's episode of Career Mode, guys. So big thank you for watching. If you have enjoyed it, and if you did enjoy today's episode, then please drop a like. Much love to you all. Have a fantastic day, and I'll see you for the next episode of Career Mode, featuring a huge game in the Champions League against Inter Milan very soon.